Hello, and welcome back to Goblin Mode.
Yeah! Goblin Mode! Goblin Mode! Episode 10, baby.
Episode 10. We made it 10 episodes.
Double digits.
And we actually remembered what episode it was this time, but I think that's because
We had such a ordeal.
I wouldn't call it an ordeal.
Conniption.
I definitely am feeling good that we've reached 10 episodes.
Can't believe it.
10 episodes of the show. This is only our
Third,
that's what I meant to say, third episode of the podcast. But it's been going good. And
Yeah. I'm happy to be here.
The only thing that fucking sucks ass about it is setting up and tearing down everything. Part of me was like, I think this will be easier than vlogging. And I was like,
I mean, we're using a brand new camera today. Not brand new, but new for the podcast. And we're using a new tripod. And
yeah, we're
had to
definitely like new to this setup. And I am always getting fucked over by technology. So we'll see. You know, the last episode, the video file was corrupted, which is why you guys only got audio.
It was still great audio.
It was pretty good.
That was primo audio.
But this time, I finally got the quick release mounts that I needed on Cyber Monday or Black Friday. So it was easy to move the camera over from my stream setup.
Just imagine if we didn't have that.
I know, it would be a fucking pain in the ass.
It would be hell on earth.
But now we have this, so it's easier to move, and we have the pod track. So as long as I can line the audio up, we're in business.
Guccini.
Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. I have had a very not to be a downer, but I've had one of the worst mental health weeks of my life the past week. And part of me didn't even want to do the podcast. Part of me didn't want to get out of bed today. But you know what? Baby steps. Trying to stay ahead of it. So thanks for supporting. And thanks for
watching.
Thanks for bearing with me while I've had
Thanks for dropping comments.
30,000 mental breakdowns.
In a minute.
In a week's time. But yeah. Everything's gonna be fine. I am excited because not too long ago, whenever I had like raised money to go to TwitchCon, I only raised enough for flights, and so I had bought the flights, and then TwitchCon said that they weren't going to have mask mandates or anything, and I'm still like really like scared of COVID shit, so I canceled my flights and my Airbnb and everything that I had like booked or reserved. And then they were like, oh, we're actually making people wear masks. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to rebook everything. That's so fucking dumb. And so I was like, you know what, whatever. So then I had the Southwest points or the credits. So not too crazy long ago, I had decided to use those credits for visiting our friend Pape in California, and so I had booked those whenever Southwest was doing like a deal, and then I thought that I had booked that for the like middle to end of December, and then I like double checked and it was for the 8th, and I was like, oh, okay.
Next week, baby.
Okay, so we're absolutely broke, but we're going to say YOLO and just still go. Because the flights are already paid for and we don't have to pay.
We're saying YOLO, we're gonna go low.
Wow. We're gonna go and stay with Pape because he is allowing us to stay with him for free, which is really nice. So we don't have to pay for an Airbnb. So just paying for food and like airport parking, nothing too crazy. But, you know, life is about experiences. And sometimes you have to just say, fuck it, and put everything on your credit card and
charge it to the game.
But we'll see. I think it's gonna be a good time. I've never been to California. I know you have when you were younger.
I have been to California.
But I'm really excited. I made a little list of places that I want to go. And Papa's gonna be our little guide. Papa
Oh,
and Natalie.
little tour guides.
So I'm stoked on that. But it's gonna be a fucking GT, and then we're gonna vlog while we're there. We're going to podcast while we're there. So this will be our last episode from home for another 2 weeks. You'll get another one from here week after next, or maybe I don't know. Should we release the California vlog and podcast on the same week?
If you want to, yeah. Why not? You can.
We'll see. Here next to me, I have my new heated throw blanket from Syfy.
It's luxurious.
Thank you again, Queen, because I had mentioned on Twitter that I was super cold because we live in a tiny house and it is very poorly insulated. And it gets really fucking cold. So she saw that and sent me this blanket, which was really nice. So thank you again, Syfy. It's been a game changer. But yeah, appreciate you. It's just been cold as fuck up here. And the Pacific Northwest, sometimes I'm always like, it's really bizarre because sometimes I'm like happy that I moved up here, and then sometimes like this season, like this time of the year, I'm always like, why did I do this to myself? I hate this so much. My mental health is in the dumpster. Everything physically, like I feel like a little like
sack of shit.
Yeah, like just absolute shit.
Just a little turd.
So if you are having seasonal depression, you're not alone.
You are not alone.
Michael Jackson?
Hee hee.
Go off, MJ. What are we talking about today? We really came to the table empty-handed today, didn't we?
You had some topics. We were going to share some TikToks, and we were going to have some more existential questions that we were going to delve into. And what do you want to start with?
Well, I guess since we're already on a low note with seasonal depression, I was gonna say I feel I saw this woman on TikTok who was like she looked kind of haggard and like had a decent amount of wrinkles, which is like fine, like she's probably stressed or like whatever. I don't know. And she literally said that she was 36. And I was like absolutely gagged by that. Because I was like, I don't really mind getting older.
Yeah.
And I don't mind getting wrinkles and stuff. Like, that's fine. I'm not trying to be like ageist. I think we as a society like don't like to age. Like, we're all afraid of dying and we're scared to get old. But like whenever I heard this woman say she was 36, which is only a little less than 6 years older than me, I was kind of just like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, that's really close for me. What if I look like her? And then I was like, well, we're different people. Like, maybe she's a mother of 7 and like chain smokes.
There's so many factors. Maybe she doesn't take care of her skin. Maybe she had a ton of sun exposure without wearing sunscreen. That's huge factor.
For sure. But I'm just saying, like, that made me feel really existential because I told you already, but one thing my dad has always said, like, my whole life growing up was that he feels like, so he would say this around between like late 40s, early 50s, how he felt like he blinked one day and he woke up and he was just like an old man. And he was like, I hate it because I feel like internally I'm in my 20s and I'm still like wanting to have fun and like I like to drink, I like to party, but like I look in the mirror and I'm like old and gray, like, and I'm like, that fucking sucks. And I feel like with how fast I feel like my life is passing by me, like I really do, like for me, I feel like I'm like 25, but I'm about to be 31, which like isn't a huge jump.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, what he has said about aging has resonated with me and stuck with me because I'm like, oh, great. Like, one day I'm going to wake up and be like 40, 50, and I'm going to be like, what in the fuck? Like, where did the time go?
Yeah.
You know, all old people are like, you know, time just flies by. And it's like, you're damn fucking right about that. But
I think a lot of it, too, though, is like, you can go out and do, like, social things, like go to a bar and party and have fun, but just take care of yourself. I mean, in hindsight, I should have been doing that in my 20s because I drank a fuck ton whenever I was in my, like, mid-20s. I'd say even into my late 20s. I drink occasionally now,
but that's
like,
what your 20s are for, though, is like...
Well, yeah, but at the same time, like, in hindsight, I should have, you know, drank less than I did.
Yeah,
I still would have had the same amount of fun. I probably would have had more fun if I would have drank a little bit less than I was during that time.
Because you wouldn't have felt like shit.
Yeah, and it's a fine line, right? Like, getting drunk is really fun.
I can't tell if the camera's focused.
Being drunk, I mean, we're already in the shit. Just roll with it.
Being drunk sucks.
Yeah, getting drunk is fun. Being drunk is not fun. And
yeah,
so,
like, you pass, like, a threshold and you're like, oh, I hate this.
Exactly. It's like, oh my God, what did I do to myself? It's like,
That's why I don't drink anymore.
Yeah.
Because I always feel like shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I always, like, have the worst hangover of my life.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why I quit drinking. Because, like, I've drank once in the past, like, almost 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it was whenever we were playing Apex, like, with my mods, and we were drinking and playing. It was a lot of fun. But part of me, like, was like, man, I could have had the same amount of fun. Like,
yeah.
Like, and I don't regret it or anything. I'm just saying, like, the last time before I quit drinking, I had drank with Delaney and Shay and you when we were doing
watching
the
Twilight
watch party, and I got so drunk.
Yeah.
And the next morning I woke up and I felt like ass. I felt so bad. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm never drinking again.
Yeah.
And then I actually, like, didn't drink again for, like, years.
Yeah, it's
just something I don't really need. Like, a lot of people like love to drink, and that's perfectly fine. Like, I totally get it, and I think that life is really, like, hard and sad and depressing, and I do think that, like, alcohol helps with that, but at the same time, that's a fucking slippery slope.
It's also terrible for you. Like, alcohol is a legit, like, poison.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's another reason that I quit
your
drinking,
body.
because I always feel like I'm having, like, organ pains. I know that that's dramatic, but, like, and my doctor confirmed the other day that it's muscular skeletal and not internal, and that I'm, like, you know, overthinking it. But, like, my whole life I didn't know that because I didn't have health insurance. So I always thought that, like, my insides hurt, and I was like, you know, if I drink, I'm adding to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's more and more, like, studies are showing that it's, like, directly linked to, like, increased risk of cancer. So
yeah, well, I mean, you're literally, like, putting your organs through the fucking ringer.
Yeah, your liver especially.
It's just like, I don't know, it's not worth it to me.
Yeah.
To, like,
yeah,
you know, have my life be harder, like, health-wise, I guess.
I'll have a beer every once in a while, but even then I should probably not be drinking, like, at all.
I don't know. I think, like, everything
That's just
is
from a personal standpoint. I'm not telling you guys to not drink.
Well, like, every fucking person we know, for the most part, drinks. I think that's just, like, a really common thing. But it's, like, I don't know. I think that everything in moderation is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, pick and choose what you want to do. Like,
I think we kind of derailed that conversation. I think I derailed that conversation directly, but I think what we're getting at is, like, you can still go out and do the things that you, like, did in your 20s. Just don't go as hard as you did.
But I don't think, but going back to that, I don't think my dad was saying that he, like, wants to still party. I think he's just saying, like, he used to do that so much, and like he feels like he still could, but he won't because he's like grown and like has a full-time job and shit. Like I think he's just over it, but I think he's just saying like he was like a fun young party animal, and then he blinked one day, and then now he's
just
old.
Some old man.
Yeah, and I just think
He's gotta take
that's
baby aspirin.
yeah. I mean, he's on not to out my dad, but like he's on heart medication. He's on blood pressure medication. You know, typical like older people meds. Like I think a lot of us, if you're not in like tip top shape, like you eventually just have to get put on that shit, which fucking
or
sucks.
completely change your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one or the other.
Which most people are like, you know, I'm not going to go run every single day, so I guess give me the meds.
I'm not going to go plant-based. Give me them blood pressure meds, baby.
I don't know. Which by the way, anyone watching, any of you guys that know me from Twitch, everyone always jokes about me, like, I space out a lot and like lose my train of thought a lot, and everyone's always like, oh, Cheeky's smelling toast, like what's going on. But it's literally because I have unmedicated ADHD, and I like constantly am forgetting what I'm doing, and like I'm scatterbrained, but I recently got on ADHD medication again, which has been super helpful. I mean, I still have like toast moments, but like
toasty moments.
Toastmo. They're like way fewer and far between.
Yeah.
Like I feel more focused, and I like have a little more drive to get things done, which is nice.
I have toast moments all the time at work. Like it's like a U shape, so like there's the counter and then there's a door, and that's where like the dishes and like all of our like syrups and stuff and like coffees are, and like I'll walk back there and it's like a fucking mind eraser from Men in Black. As soon as I pass that door, I'm like,
I think, well, a lot of people always talk about how when they walk into another room, they immediately forget what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't even know why I think
that's
back
a
here.
common thing. Like, I think there's actually...
But it happens like numerous times throughout a shift. I'm like, why did I come
you're
back
also...
here?
That happened to me a lot in the service industry, and I think it's because our brains are just processing like 30 things in a queue, and you're just like, okay, trying to remember all of them.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult.
Why did I come back here? And then I usually have to like go and look, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I needed.
Yeah, you just have to do a lab.
It just sucks.
But yeah, so I've been really, I've never in my life really felt existential about age or dying, because I think dying will be sweet bliss when it does happen. But you know, who wouldn't want to not be in a cog in the machine of late stage capitalism anymore?
I welcome death.
That sounds fucking sick. Nah, but for real, I lately have just been like, wow, like I don't want to blink and be old. And then also on the flip side of that coin, there is a TikTok account that I really like, and I'll have to think of his name and put it here or in the description box. And you've probably seen him. He goes around New York City and he interviews people. And he always goes up to like, it's mostly older people, like above 50. And he'll ask them how old they are. And he asks, what does it feel like to be your age? Is there any age that you wish you could go back to? And then he asks like, if you could tell your younger self a piece of advice, what would it be? And it's been like that TikTok has been really helpful in my like spiral of getting older lately, because all the people on the show, I say on the show, on his little like mini street podcast, all of them are like, oh, like I'm 72, and he's like, what does it feel like to be 72? And they're like, I feel fine. Like I feel like I did when I was 40 or 35.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, that's promising, because like none of the people look like they like run marathons or anything. Like they look like normal human beings, like of all different sizes and heights and shapes. And you know, because you might see someone who's like really really fit and they're like, well, yeah, I feel I'm 80, but I feel 30. It's like, of course you do. Like, you run fucking 10 miles a day.
Well, that was like Chuck Norris. You know, like Chuck Norris was like 75 and was doing like the Total Gym commercials. And I'm like, dude, he looks like he's 50.
Yeah.
And that dude, like...
Total Gym.
Dude's a member of the AARP. And that dude looks like shredded to shit.
Yeah. And I definitely do think that it is a mindset. And I think that that could be... you know, I'm being detrimental to myself and having the thoughts that I'm having because I think that age is a mindset. And I think that...
Age is just a number, baby.
Well, I just think that if I start my day, like, thinking I'm young and, like, acting like I'm young instead of, like, 1 foot in the fucking crypt, like, maybe I will, you know, feel a little bit better or, like...
Yeah.
have a different perspective.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of that, in the same vein, I watched that documentary about Jonah Hill's therapist called Stutz. And I thought that it was really sad because Stutz has Parkinson's and, like, he is, like, getting pretty old. I mean, he's still in pretty good shape, but it's basically like a filmed documentary, like, it's a documentary of, like, a filmed therapy session between him and Jonah, but Jonah was like, I wanted to make this so the general public can use your tools that you've taught me to, like, help my life be better,
or to see, you know, like, not generalizing Stutz's methods, but, like, see what, like, an actual, like, therapy session is, because there are people who are like, dude, I'm never gonna go to therapy, like, I'm never gonna go there.
Well, it's like the stigma of going to therapy and the fact that, like, the majority of our country cannot afford therapy.
So it's like
it's nice to have an inside look at it. And I thought that it was really interesting to see like an A-list celebrity's therapist and, like, their relationship and and it was really interesting to see how, like, Jonah's, like, mindset. Sorry, there's a giant fucking truck going by. I don't know if that's picking up, but they do this every day at this time, and it drives me crazy. But
shut up.
He's like, I'm just existing, and I'm like, you're right, but, like, also, why do you drive a fucking 17 F550?
Can you exist with a muffler, please? Exist with a muffler.
Buy a Prius. Thank you. Buy an electric car so I don't have to hear it.
It's time for an EV.
Yeah.
I'm calling the police.
Get with it. I'd like to file a noise complaint. The cops are like, so he just drove by your house. I'm like,
yes.
Yeah.
Every day.
It's fucking upsetting me. But yeah, so check out the Stutz documentary. It wasn't what I was expecting, but it was definitely worth the watch. And I did take away things from it that I think will help me mentally. So yeah, but besides that, what other existential questions did I have? Oh, I said on my list of podcast questions that I've been compiling, one of the questions is, what do you think happens when we die? Which I think is, like, such a classic question that people ask each other.
Yeah.
But we've never really, like, we've talked about it, but we've never, like, had it, like, in this format. And I don't really know what you think.
I would like to think that we are reincarnated into something else, whether it be an animal or
just, like, another life
another
form.
person, and we experience life in a different, you know, vessel, whether that be another person or another living thing. That would be fucking sick. That would be awesome.
I don't know if I want to be...
Imagine, too, if it's like, dude, like, what if time isn't linear? So it's like, you're not... Like, what if you live, like, a past life? Like, and you experience those things? Like, what if, like, you, like, got reincarnated into, like, a fucking ancient Roman? Or, like...
Hell fucking no. Hell fucking no.
Or, like, you know, something before, like, recorded civilization, like, recorded history.
Like, the part of civilization that, like, wasn't recorded.
Like, the 96% of human history that
was not
that
recorded.
is.
Yeah, what if you like came back in that time and you were like, yo.
Yeah, I'd be like, whoa,
But that's the
what
thing.
the fuck?
That's the thing with reincarnation is you don't know that you're reincarnated.
Exactly, right?
So like you're just living another life, which sounds fucking horrific. Like I don't want to keep coming back to this planet, but
I mean, dude, like it's a completely new experience. And
what if it's so bad? What if it's horrible?
then you die and you reincarnate into another one. It just never ends. It's an infinite cycle. And it could be, you know.
If it was okay, so you know how there's like different dimensions and stuff, and like the universe is so vast, and obviously there's more life out there than just us. If I was able to be reincarnated on another plane, another dimensional plane, or on a different planet, that would be cool because then I'm having like a fully new experience that's like not known to like man in our eyes. But with my luck, I would be like a fucking ore miner on fucking Mars in another dimension.
I'm going to be reincarnated into Zegui from XO9, and I'm going to be smoking Space Kush.
I don't know who that is.
And I just made him up.
Oh, Zegui?
Yeah, Zegui.
Damn. No, yeah, that would be my luck, is I would be like a intergalactic, like, railroad builder for, like, some planet where, like, I'm like...
No, dude, you'd be an intergalactic, like, OnlyFans mommy.
Oh, my God.
Right?
Hopefully... The only reason I would do OnlyFans is for a monetary reason, and I feel like hopefully if I was reincarnated somewhere else, I, like, wouldn't be as poor in that life and wouldn't need to do that.
You'd be, like... You'd be reincarnated into, like, a super hot pink alien with, like, snakes for hair, and you got, like...
Medusa.
3 eyes.
Oh. I would rather just maybe be reincarnated as, like, you know, maybe just, like, a goldfish.
Yeah.
Or, like, a tree in the woods that will live to be, you know, 400 or 500 years old before it's chopped down from deforestation.
Yeah.
But like I get to just like be serene in the woods
or
for
like,
that many years.
You know, an animal before like modern hunting tools were made, because your chances of living, at least being not killed by a human, are much higher. You know, a sick ass deer, you just hang out in the forest all day.
Like a really rare like stag, like a white albino stag that like nobody can ever find.
Yeah, and then you get gutted by Rhaenyra Targaryen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that bastard Sir Kristen Cole. Can we get a fuck Kristen Cole?
Oh, fuck Kristen Cole.
Fuck Kristen Cole. Fuck Sir Kristen.
What a great watch, though.
Yeah.
Like that, I thought that they did a really good job with House of the Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, it like... Obviously, like HBO, the production company, has had like experience with Game of Thrones, but they did a really, really good job. I was very, I was feeling very vulnerable whenever it was announced that it was coming. Like they were making a new Game of Thrones show, and I was like,
so vulnerable.
I felt vulnerable. I was like, I'm gonna watch it. Like I'm ready to be hurt. But it was surprisingly really, really, really good.
It really was.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
A question that we had on the form, the Google form.
Like, hang on, you didn't answer your question.
Oh.
What do you think happens when you die? I would like to think that we're reincarnated, but honestly, I think we're literally just like, we just decompose into the dirt.
So you changed your answer.
Well, I said I would like to think. I hope that we're reincarnated, but my gut tells me that we just cease to be.
I don't know. I think like from a realist standpoint, I think that we just decompose and that like our
return to the earth.
Like, okay, so like energy cannot be created nor destroyed. And I think that the human, like the energy in a human body, like we are made of like electricity and like, you know, atoms and stardust and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And I do think when we die that it does disperse. It like has to disperse somewhere else. Yeah. And so it's weird because that's fully what I believe, but then I also get confused because I'm like, okay, you die, you're buried, you decompose, or if you're cremated, whatever. like, where does your energy go? Like, in my head, it would be really cool if you, like, went into another dimension. Like, because, not to get too deep into this topic, but, like, I do believe that, like, ghosts are real and, like, spirits. Maybe not so much ghosts, but, like, spirits, because, you know, it's the same thing with aliens. Like, aliens are way more believable, obviously, because of the vastness of space. But I think that with spirits, there have been, like, way too many counts of, like, ghosts and spirit situations that, like, they're all fake. You know, like, there's no way that none of those are real.
Yeah.
I would say most of them are real. And, like, I told you the other day about the woman saying that her kid, like, had this, like, ongoing...
Yeah, the red girls.
Yeah, he said that there were these 2 red girls that, like, came out of the woods all the time to talk to him.
Yeah.
And she was like, his story has been extremely consistent, and he's, like, too young to, like, come up with anything like that on his own. And, like, all the details of the story lines up. And he's only, like, I think she said he was, like, between 3 and 4. And just like that, I was like, I don't know. There's too many, like, paranormal situations for that to not be true. But okay, so with that being said, I'm like, so how do you become a spirit? Like, do we all become spirits, but some of our spirits go into, like, a different dimension or realm, and then some people's spirits get, like, stuck in purgatory, and, like, those are the ones who, like, kind of fuck with humans or, like, try to connect with humans. Like, that's what I'm confused about. And I think that that's what makes death seem kind of exciting, because it's like, we don't...
Oh, you want to haunt people. So you want to haunt people.
No, I don't want to haunt people. I want to know, like, where I'm gonna go when I die. It's like...
Yeah, I think we all do, and I think that's why death is so scary, is because none of us know. We would like to know.
It's, like, scary exciting, though, because it's like...
Yeah.
You're like, man, it's gonna be really cool if I go to, like, a realm where I can, like, visit with all my, like, dead friends and family.
If I go to a realm where I can haunt people, great.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I wouldn't, like, you know, I wouldn't be a vengeful spirit, you know, I'd be like a prankster.
Oh, I would be a really scary spirit.
Like, I would go in and I'd go into your fridge and I'd turn all your Coke cans upside down.
So you'd be a poltergeist.
Well, not really. Okay, so...
A poltergeist, like, fucks with people.
Yeah, I'm not gonna inhabit a clown doll and drag a child under the bed.
I'm not talking about the movie. It's like a type of ghost.
Yeah, I'm a trickster.
It's called a poltergeist.
I'm a poltergeist.
He's going to be a poltergeist. I'm going to be a demon.
You're going to be a banshee.
I'm going to become, like, an absolute hellion.
Oh my god, you're going to, like, hurt people.
Only, like, really bad people.
You're going to become, like, a phasmophobia demon.
Yeah, but
spirit.
Like, but only to really bad people.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so you're going to, like, hang out in prisons? And...
No, like, politicians and child predators.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
That sounds cool.
But
That's
yeah,
a vibe.
I'm hoping that
you're a vigilante spirit.
Our energy and everything goes into a different realm to become a spirit.
So that's what you think happens. You think that your body decomposes, but your consciousness, that energy goes somewhere that we can't perceive.
Yeah. 100%. I don't think that we just, like, die and it's, like, done. Like, I don't, because, like I said, the energy has to go somewhere.
Yeah. Well, that's why a lot of people believe in reincarnation, because it's like, you know, where does it go? Oh, it goes into something else.
But I feel like, I mean, that could be true, but I feel like if reincarnation...
Because, like, something is being born, like, constantly. Like, you could come back and be an amoeba.
Well, I think if reincarnation exists, I think that your energy might attach to that new thing, but it wouldn't be you, like, fully. It would be the new thing, but it would just have maybe some of your characteristics or some, like... I don't know. It's really fucked up to think about.
Maybe that's what deja vu is, right? Maybe that's, like, your past consciousness, you perceiving that, and they perceive it at the same time, and you're like, what the... Like... What is going on? Like, I feel like I've been here before. You know what I mean?
Maybe so. I need you to turn that heater on because I'm getting cold.
Oh, you're Chilly Billy? Okay.
Yeah. But, Yeah. Sorry. Also, the heater might be a teeny bit loud. Well, the beeps are kind of loud, but hopefully in general it's not too loud.
It's fine, girly. It's part of the experience. This is raw footage.
Raw and real, baby.
Raw and real, unfiltered.
I don't know. It's just some people go kind of crazy when they think about that stuff, and I do too, but I've thought about it so many times that I'm just like, I guess we'll see.
Well, I mean, either way you slice it, it's out of your control. Mm-hmm. You know, number one, you're going to die. Number two, we don't know what's going to happen, and it's just going to happen. So, just fucking...
live your best life.
Just fucking vibe. You know, whenever you're on your deathbed, unless you have, like... Never mind, I'm not going to go there because people are going to take that the wrong way. But, like, just roll with it. You know, I think that's why so many people, like, whenever they are on death's door, they're like, you know what? Like, I'm at peace. Like, this is going to happen. And, like, I'm cool with it.
It would depend how I was on my deathbed. Like, if it felt unfair, I would fight it and be upset about it. But if I was, like, I don't know. Some people, like, can, like, if they're on their deathbed, you're, like, partially dying, so you can kind of see the other side a little bit, or you, like, start to feel, like weird, like, ethereal vibes. Like, I don't know. I've seen a lot of stuff on the internet of, like, videos of people that are about to die, and, like, they'll, like, be talking to their loved ones that are, like, dead, or they'll be, like, acting happy, like they see, like, fucking, what is it called, like Elysian fields or whatever,
the fields of Elysium.
Yeah, like, I don't know, it's definitely interesting.
Yeah,
I definitely think life is worth living and it's beautiful and yada yada, but I definitely think that thinking about that stuff, life is too short to, like, go insane and, like, freak out about little things. Like, I constantly, and trust me, I'm, you know, preaching to the choir, but I know I freak out about little things all the time, and it's because I'm mentally ill. But, like, if I wish that, like, future or past me could, like, come up to me and slap me in the face and be like, bitch, this is not that big of a deal.
Right.
Like, you are putting so much emphasis on this thing that's just gonna pass.
Yeah.
And, like, in the grand scheme of life.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is, like, it's present and it's happening to you right now, so it is a big deal. But in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't, or it's not a big deal. But we don't know that because all we can perceive are the things that are happening to us right now. We can perceive, you know, we can think about the future and stuff like that, but in terms of, like, what is on your plate right now, like, yes, obviously that's a big deal. It's
like the unsurety of like the future, because I'm like,
the unsurety?
What's a word?
Uncertainty?
Unsurety.
I like unsurety better.
The unsurety. and the fact that I said it with so much confidence too, I was like, this is a word. Unsurety.
The unsurety.
The uncertainty. The uncertainty of the future is what drives me bananas, because I'm like, is it going to get worse for me or is it going to get better? Right. But again, going back to those people who the guy interviews in New York, like, one of his questions is, I think it's his last question, and he always says, what is something that you worried a lot about your whole life that later in life you realize isn't as important? And most of them say money. Like, most of them are like, I freak the fuck out about money all the time, and, like, would make myself sick about it. And they were like, the older you get, the, like, less you just care about shit. But I'm like, okay, that's fair, but like, the older you get, typically the more money you have, so of course you're worrying less about it, you know? Yeah. But I don't know, I think that's my biggest thing, is that I always feel like I'm in, like, survival mode. Yeah. Which is not a good feeling, and I'd like to not have that anymore. Which is why I'm, like, considering quitting streaming and getting a job. But which has also been, like, a huge reason why my mental health has been in the shitter lately. But I'm not going to get into that. But
That's for a different podcast.
No, that's not going to come out because it's going to be really depressing and sad.
That's just not good content.
Yeah, you're fucking telling me. Neither is my Twitch content, apparently.
Whoa.
Oh. Moving on.
Moving on. It's not that your content is bad. It's just there's a bunch of unsurety around Twitch.
Unsurety. There is a lot of unsurety.
Clouds of unsurety. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I was going to pivot earlier. You didn't let me, but...
Sorry.
I was going to say someone on the Google form said, what do you think the cast of Fast and Furious would order from Taco Bell?
Okay.
I think Dom is a beef supreme chalupa kind of guy.
How many?
Like 6. And like a Baja Blast.
6 and a Baja Blast? Does he get any sauces?
Mm-mm.
No sauces. You think he's just a dry guy?
I mean, it comes the way it comes.
I know, but you don't think he gets like fire sauces?
No, I don't even eat. I don't eat.
We're
Taco Bell
not
sauce.
talking about you. We're talking about We're talking about Dominant Toretto.
Dominant Toretto. No, I think he would literally be like, let me get 6 beef supreme chalupas and a large Baja Blast.
Extra sour cream.
Yeah, I mean, he needs the extra protein.
Yeah, for sure. What about Paul Walker?
Well, he's dead.
Well, that doesn't matter.
Let's see. He would get a chicken quesadilla.
Just one?
And
he's got to keep that slim figure.
And a Crunchwrap Supreme.
And a Crunchwrap Supreme. Okay.
Which, you know what? Okay, so I don't eat meat, but what sounds really good that I just thought about is a chicken Crunchwrap.
Yeah, it'd be fucking good.
Like a chicken Crunchwrap with like extra nacho cheese sauce.
Yeah. Dude, I might go get some Taco Bell after this podcast now that we're talking about it.
Damn.
It's on me. My treat.
It has to be your treat. I don't have any money.
My treat.
I don't have any fucking... I can't even pay rent. Ooh. I'll figure it out. I'll fucking sling puss on the side.
I will go turn tricks on the
Do
corner.
it. We got to do something.
I will.
Shake my titties for $1.
I got to go buy some condoms, but I'll be good.
Picturing that just made me feel ill. But I mean, whatever we got to do to, pay the bills.
It's true.
Lord have mercy. But
okay,
yeah.
we got to finish
and then
the cast.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh,
she would get.
What's that baddie eating?
She would get like.
She'd get one order of cheesy Fiesta potatoes and like, a Diet Pepsi.
And like 3 crunchy tacos.
Okay. Supremes or just Reggie?
Like meat and cheese only.
Meat and cheese only, no lettuce?
No,
crispy or soft?
No, she's Latina. She would she would fuck it up. She would like get like all the best items on the menu.
Yeah.
Sorry,
she wouldn't even eat Taco Bell.
Right. But if she had to, like if all the crew was like, we're going to Taco Bell, like pull up, everyone's cars roll up.
Yeah, what would she get?
I don't know. I don't know like what Latino people think is like the best food at Taco Bell, because I'm sure that they're probably like, this is a joke, but
I don't know.
If you're Latino, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
If you actually like Taco Bell, or if it's like a slap in the face to your culture, or if you fuck with it, and let us know what you get. I'm curious.
What about Ludacris? What's he getting? Disturbing the peace. Luda's getting a Nachos Bel Grande and just a bean burrito.
Okay.
He'll wash it down with a Reggie Mountain Dew.
Okay. No diet here.
Yeah.
I like it.
What's the other guy? Tyrese?
Mm-hmm.
What's he getting?
One of everything off the value menu.
Okay.
Plus a large Mountain Dew.
And he's gonna wash it all down with some cinnamon twists.
Okay. Well, things that I never thought I'd talk about in my life. Fine by me.
Fine by me.
So if you submitted that question, thank you. And I hope that that was a sufficient answer. What else? What else we got to talk about?
What about your favorite TikTok of the week? Are we gonna do that later?
That's last. Wow, we're really good at podcasting.
Girl, you have a phone. Pull it up and look up the things that you were talking about.
Oh, and you don't have a list.
I don't. You do.
You need to make a list because I don't want to be the only one
You
making
have the
a
list.
Yeah, it's a list of my stuff. Oh, we can talk about the future of AI and what we think it's going to do to the world.
Dude, it's going to be fucked up.
But you can talk to the people because I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Normally, I wouldn't have to pee because I pee beforehand, but, you know, shit happens.
Shit happens.
Take it away.
So I think the future of AI is going to be detrimental to society, but not in the way of like Terminator. I don't think like AI is going to like take over like war satellites and like eradicate all of humanity, but I do think it's going to take away a lot of jobs. And in the taking away of those jobs, there's not going to be any government like safety net for these people that are losing their jobs. So like there's going to be like a massive wealth inequality, already bigger than what we're seeing now. And it's going to be hell on earth. I also think with deepfake technology, we're already seeing it. Luckily, for most things that I've seen with deepfake technology, it's like humorous. You know, like we've all seen, I don't know about if we've all seen, but we've all seen, me and Cheeky have seen the Joe Biden rapping the Chief Keef song.
Yeah.
Which is fucking insane. But like that could be used to spread like massive misinformation.
Well, yeah.
And
I think with the deepfake thing, like apparently it's already a huge problem for like content creators and like people doing realistic deepfakes of them like in porn.
Yeah.
Or like them saying like really hurtful like fucked up shit that could like get them canceled that like isn't actually them. But of course, like most people on the internet, like don't take the time to double check if it's real or not. They just see it and they're like, oh my God, did you see what so-and-so said?
Yeah.
And like, that's what's fucked up is because I am a person of like sound mind and I still don't really like go out of my way to like double check things all the time. Like if something's like really wild, I'm like, hold on a second, like that can't be real.
Yeah.
And then I look it up, but if it's something like not too out of the box, I'll just be like, oh damn, like that's crazy. So if like, you know, someone who is like not me or they're like a bad person or they're like wanting people to fail or that, you know, they would see it and like retweet it and be like, holy shit, and like fuel the fire.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then like there's the whole thing with AI art now, which is apparently like it's really okay. I think right now a lot of us see it as that it's like really cool and like new and interesting, but in reality it's like extremely harmful to the art community and artists alike.
Yeah.
Because I saw like some people were upset the other day because I think it was like DeviantArt website like said that if you upload something to their site like in the fine print that it is put into a database used for AI like generation of art. So like your art is like being stolen to use for like AI art.
Yeah.
Which some people will like make and then like sell because it's like theirs.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones who like generated it, but it's like, bro, that took you like 20 seconds to render. Like, that's not yours.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are like fighting about it on the internet because people are like, well, it's like a one of a kind thing that like a computer made. So like, but in my eyes, I'm like, well, you didn't make that.
Right.
Like, that's not yours.
Yeah.
And all it did was like rip off other artists and mash it together.
It's great for reference, especially if like you are not like artistically inclined visually. Like if I wanted to make like album art for EP and I didn't want to pay an artist to do it, I could literally type in like what I wanted, like for like a landscape
And then
piece,
draw
and
it yourself.
well, no, they could just it could be generated, or I could use that as a reference and be like, hey, I want this to look like this.
Yeah, I mean, if you're
You
not
know?
if you're not using it, and like you just said, like I would use it to create like a piece of art for like an album or whatever, instead of like paying an artist. But that's the problem.
Yeah, that is the problem.
That is the problem, because it's like artists already struggle enough as it is to like get commissions, and now people are like, oh, I'll just use AI.
True.
And that's why it's so harmful.
Yeah.
But you are right though about using it as a reference. If you're using it for personal use, like for your like computer wallpaper, or just like to print out and put on your wall because you think it's cool, or if you're like, man, I have this idea in my head of like a woman wearing a dress like made out of like, you know, scales or something, and you type that in and it pops up an idea that's like very similar to what you have in your mind, and you use that to then create your own piece of art.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Or you could use it, because like AI is not going to be perfect. Like you could literally type in something, bring it to an artist and be like, hey, like this is like something that I'm going for, but I want like a different color palette, or like,
can you draw this in your own style?
Exactly. Like this is what I want it to look like.
But yeah, I think that it's good for people, like you said, that don't have like
artistic ability. Yeah,
like they don't have the ability or like the vision, and they're like, I desperately need to convey this to somebody to get it commissioned or get it made. Like,
that's my problem. I can't draw what I see in my head.
Yeah, which is like, that's fair. Like, I think a lot of people are like that. Yeah. But I think just like, I think the art community in general is a little freaked out by like the future of, you know, for me, I make like graphic design pieces for stickers for like Etsy. So it's not like, you know, like I'm not the prime candidate that's like upset by AI, like art, like AI machinery stealing my art job. But like people who are like fantasy painters and stuff, it's like, like I would be like stressed and like irritated as fuck.
Right.
But yeah, it's very strange.
Like
and
fine
I think
art.
that,
like.
Yeah. I think that AI, like I also think on a different level of this, like with the future of society and AI, like I think I do think in the next 10 years, like there are going to be like automated factories and automated like delivery drivers.
Yeah. Well, they're already doing that now at Amazon, or I could be blowing smoke up my ass, or smoke up your ass. I'm blowing smoke up my ass. But I read somewhere some humongous company is like, they're taking like, I don't want to say recruiters, but like hiring, if you want to call them managers, or hiring employees that are responsible for hiring new people into their like warehouses and stuff like that. Like it's all becoming automated. Like AI is just choosing who to hire and not hire, which is good because it does kind of take out that personal bias, but at the same time it's like fucked up.
Yeah. Well, I wonder like what their algorithm is for like picking people or not. Like, I don't know.
It's just fucking crazy.
But yeah, it could take away like personal bias, like as someone who has a lot of tattoos, like I've gone to a job interview where they're just like, and it's like, well, you don't fucking know me and like how I'm a hard worker, so like you're a fucking loss.
Yeah.
But like, that could go for like a lot of things. But yeah, it is really interesting though, and I think that honestly, Amazon delivery should be automated because they like run Amazon drivers fucking ragged.
Yeah.
And they're like not getting paid enough for what they're doing.
Yeah.
Although yes, it's like you could potentially like lose your job if your job becomes automated. But like, I don't know. I just think that
automation in my eyes isn't a bad thing, but there's not going to be any government regulation, like oversight. So like the people that are out of these jobs, the government's just gonna be like, too fucking bad.
Well, hopefully they would get some sort of like severance pay to like float them to their next job.
We're gonna need once automation becomes more and more commonplace. We're going to need universal basic income, because once that there's not even going to be overseas jobs anymore. It'll all just be AI, you know. So like everything's going to be automated.
And that's why like I am glad that I am an entertainer for my job currently, because like there is no one else like me, like exactly like me. Yes, there are people who do the same thing as me, but like I am myself and people like me for me. So I'm like, okay, cool, like no one can replicate cheeky fucking Goblin, and so hopefully I'll stay in business. But at the end of the day, it's like I just really don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen.
It's also like I do feel like entertainment is one of the things that can't be automated. Maybe it can be, I don't know. Maybe there's going to be an AI like screenwriter who like writes one of the best movies of all time.
I have no idea.
You never know, but
it's truly wacky to think about, like,
right?
Everything that could change. I mean, I feel like we live in a fucking dystopia anyways, so like if everything did become automated, it would just like fit the narrative. But yeah, I hope for everyone's sake that we all stay, you know, employed and have enough money to survive, and robots don't take our jobs. They take our jobs. But yeah, it's weird to think of, like, my brain always goes to like what is the movie called? AI, the one with Sunny? No, iRobot.
Yeah, that's iRobot.
I just think about like society in that movie, how there's just like robots walking around and like doing chores or like running errands for the humans. And I'm like, I feel like that's going to be
all
like...
the cars are self-driving.
Yeah, I think that's definitely our future. But I don't know how far off. Probably when we're like in nursing homes maybe. But like, who fucking knows? It's just very fucking bizarre.
Is it Will Smith's neighbor who has the robot that like turns on her? And she's like, let me go outside my door. And he's like, please stay inside. That's going to be me. I'm going to be an old dude that's like, let me go outside.
I'd be like, say no more. I'll turn around and get back in bed. I'm like, thank you, robot.
The robot just like forces VR goggles onto my head. I'm like, ah.
But it's the game from Black Mirror that makes your head explode.
Oh my God. Mom.
That show is so fucked up. I feel like even though Black Mirror was like so good,
I don't think I could go back and watch it.
No, I would never rewatch it. Yeah. I think it's worth watching one time around, but it's not something that I'll be like, you know what, let me put that back on.
Some of those episodes, I'm like, after I finish it, I'm like, oh.
I would be sweating. Oh. I literally, there was one episode that made me cry really hard. Like, I was just like, this is fucked up. And it's because it's like all like potential in our own society, like all the things.
Yeah, like could happen.
Yeah, like most of them could happen.
Yeah.
And probably are already like in the works.
Yeah, it's fucked up, dude.
Like fucking Elon's
Neuralink.
Yeah. Like that's pretty much what that guy has in his head when he like it like films your
memories.
Yeah. Which like I don't think it'll be able to do that for, you know, I don't know if they'll ever be able to do that. Like that seems like really far off.
Yeah.
Because they can't even like, there's been videos of them like connecting like machinery to your brain and it records your dreams. And like you can see like patterns and like stuff on the screen, but it's never like an actual image.
Yeah.
But it's still bizarre that can be done.
Yeah.
Wow. Very strange stuff to think about. I think that living in our timeline is like very bizarre. Like sometimes I'm like, okay,
that's another thing that's crazy too. Like what if this is like one of the like not worst but like not good timelines? What about like another timeline where everything is like the fucking awesome?
Well, this timeline I'm talking about on our planet and like in our like versus like when our parents grew up and like all the different like decades.
So you're talking about like just like this day and age.
Yeah, not like dimensional timelines. I'm talking about like on our planet, like what has already happened.
Yeah.
I think our timeline, our part of the timeline is like the most dystopian. I think that people are literally being driven insane by social media.
Yeah.
I think that social media polarizes everything and makes everything so much worse and
Yeah.
inflamed, and it has been horrific for my mental health. I deleted Twitter and Instagram yesterday.
Yeah.
And I woke up this morning and I didn't fucking scroll social medias. All I did was check my emails, and then I watched a few TikToks, and then I got up and made coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, that was fine. Like, I'm not seeing things that like trigger me like
Yeah.
the second I open my eyes, which is really cool.
I'm not waking up with tears in my eyes.
Right. I mean, it's wild. It's too much. I think it's like
Yeah.
more than humans were supposed to ingest in like such a short period of time.
Yeah.
And like, yes, of all the social medias to keep, like, some people might be like, well, the one you're keeping is TikTok, and TikTok is blah, blah, blah. No, I think TikTok, if anything, has been like a antidepressant for me. Like, anytime I'm like on the verge of having a breakdown, I'll like log on and watch videos, and it's like cute animal videos
Yep.
or like cool.
That is literally all my For You pages.
Yeah, mine is like really funny,
pets.
like skits, like animal videos, DIYs that are like really, really helpful.
One's like guitar stuff too, like guitar videos.
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
all like it eventually like curates itself to be like For You. That's why it's called
Yeah.
a For You page. And like some people are like, well, my For You page is like horrific and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, yeah, because you probably
all
don't
you
like,
watch is sick shit.
yeah, it's like you just need it to like learn you a little longer.
Yeah,
like,
just go watch puppy videos.
But I definitely think that it's been the best for me, and it's like it's not anywhere near as toxic as the other social medias. And like, you know, as a content creator, like people are like, well, you have to have social medias to like flourish and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, you do, but I'm choosing to not because I'm already like in my flop era. So like the least I can do for myself is like not do that to my brain as well. And I'm fine with that. I've already come to terms with that.
Yeah.
But I definitely really love TikTok. I highly recommend it. I think people refuse to download it because they think it's like an app for children. And I'm like, okay, you're thinking of like 5 years ago when it was still like Musical.ly and it was like kids doing dances all the time. And it's like, it's literally...
Which that's still there. If you
it is
want
if that's what's on your For You page, if that's what you like, but...
That's not all there is.
That is not what's on my For You page.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for instance, like I was having an eczema flare up the other day, and I guess it like saw that I had searched eczema, and it showed me like a few different videos of like helpful tips how to get your eczema flare ups to go down, and I like did what they told me, and it made my flare up go down, and I was like, that was really helpful to my life. It's just shit like that.
You got eczema?
You got eczema? But I guess that's all I'll say
I like
about
TikTok,
that.
yeah. I think that's the only one I have.
The majority of my time at my computer has spent on watching YouTube videos.
Yeah, YouTube and TikTok. But I consider YouTube a website. Like, I don't consider it like social media because
No,
like
it's not. It's not.
The format of the content that you're ingesting is completely different. Like,
no, it's definitely
I
not
watched
social media.
30-minute long videos on Elden Ring lore on YouTube.
Sad.
No, not sad. Amazing. Amazing.
I mean, I don't spend my time any better. I just watch podcasts, and I watch Get Ready With Me videos and like travel vlogs.
That's great.
But I'm like still learning like about other countries, or I'm learning how to like curate a cool outfit, or like how to make
You're just
XYZ.
You're just digesting content in a different way than, you know, think about how often our parents watch TV all the time. There are people who literally sat in front of the TV 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know?
It's all the same thing. Like, it's all ingesting content. It just depends how you want to ingest
exactly.
it, in which form you want it to be ingested.
I would rather watch a 30-minute, you know, Elden Ring lore video than reality TV. Which, you know, no offense if you like reality TV, that's just not how I like to, you know.
That's not how he rolls.
That's not entertaining to me.
Yeah, but for me, I fucking love that shit.
Yeah.
but I try to keep a balance because it will drive me insane.
Right.
By the way, the last time that I was on the show, I said that I thought Wednesday was really disappointing and cringy. I've since finished the show.
We have finished it.
I would say I definitely enjoyed the last few episodes a lot. And once I like lowered my standards, I guess, or like my expectations of what the show would be, I was like, okay, like this is fun to watch.
Yeah.
It was cute, but I think I went into it with the wrong mindset.
I give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because the mystery was good.
Yeah, it definitely kept you on your toes.
There is like a mystery in the show. And the only knock against the show is the dialogue, especially between the teenagers, was not good.
Yeah, it was
not good.
Directed towards tweens, I think.
It just wasn't good.
But like the visuals and like most of the casting,
the sets were sick.
Everything, it was pretty good.
Everything about the show visually I enjoyed. It was really good.
Yeah. Any other media that you'd like to talk about? I know I talked about Stutz already, and then
I'm watching 1899, which is a show from the creators of Dark, which is like one of my favorite Netflix shows of all time, if not my favorite Netflix show of all time, and it's really good so far. Really spooky, lots of intertwining plot lines, and a multilingual show. So like there's French, there's Cantonese, there's Japanese, there's Spanish, there's Danish,
there's
German.
Different people in the show that all talk different languages with subtitles.
It's a boat, so it takes place on a huge ship traveling from Europe to the United States.
Okay.
So it's like
that's why
people from all over Europe are on this boat. So there's like there's like British people, so there's English speaking, there's people from China, people from France, Poland.
You just told us the list.
Yeah, but it's multilingual, so it's like it's all subbed except for the English speaking.
Very cool.
Yeah, I have enjoyed it a lot.
I don't think I have watched anything else really, but there's a few shows. I mean, we really, really love Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man's getting nuts.
The last episode was like one of my favorite like episodes of anime that I've watched in a really, really long time.
Yeah, it was massive.
It was super crazy, and really fun to watch.
Yeah, and I just love Spy Family too. Those are the two other shows that we're watching right now.
Spy Family is so good.
Yeah, it so makes wholesome.
Me so happy. But yeah,
so wholesome, so cute and funny, like legitimately funny.
Yeah, like, it's very funny and very cute.
Yeah,
you're like Anya's the best. Okay, shall we do our little we're doing our segment of TikTok of the week.
TikTok of the week? Yeah, how are we gonna do this? Are we gonna put the clip on the screen?
Yeah, we'll watch it together here, and then I'll play it on the screen while we watch it.
Okay.
But I haven't even decided which one.
You haven't found yours yet?
No. Which is like horrible because of like I thought that I was gonna have it, but I can probably find something on the fly.
Mine's great.
Okay, let's watch yours.
Okay. So mine, I'm guessing the title of it or the caption of it is Trump hiding a zombie bite. Trump hiding a zombie bite.
I did Show not. Us the bite. I know you're not going to see it again. It's not a bite. It's not even a nibble. It's only a scratch. You could get it wasn't a zombie, frankly. I think Jessica was the one.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I don't think it was a zombie, and I don't think I'm going to transform.
We saw it happen.
For as long as I want. And
no, you're literally going to turn. It's going to kill all of us.
You folks are a little bit gay, honestly.
You folks are a little bit gay.
It's not a bite. It's not even a nibble. I don't think I'm going to transform, frankly.
Oh my god. I don't know. I saw the fucking this one wasn't funny, but like a fucking car car like drove into a fucking fireworks building and the whole thing fucking exploded.
Dude, that was crazy.
Which apparently the person died, so that's fucked up.
Oh, that is fucked up.
That's fucked up. But I was gonna say,
did they like die? Was it like a heart attack and they drove into it, or like?
I have absolutely not a single clue. If I'm being real with you, I just saw someone say that the person who drove into it
is dead,
passed away. But the thing is, like, I don't fucking know if they did. Like, people on TikTok fucking lie. They lie for fucking views.
They eat hot chip and lie.
Okay, I'll just do the let me tell you something with the dog nibbling the other dog's wiener.
It's a great one.
Because it's been my favorite for the past couple weeks. Next week, I'll come up with... Well, we're going to be in California. Next time we do this segment, I'll be more prepared. But it's this dog, their other dog is nibbling his wiener, and it's really funny.
Let me tell you something. Wait.
He's just going to fucking town on that thing. I was just like, damn. And the dog is like, let me tell you something. Which is a fucking sound clip from a guy who's like about to do this like bungee jumping thing. And he's like, they put you in a chair and like lean you back over the edge, and the guy is like, wait, let me tell you something. And that I really love that original video too, but
the sound is
everyone's
great.
been using the sound for things, and it's really funny. And I think besides that, my favorite TikTok has been everybody's favorite, which is the little puppet, the little elf puppet with the with the green hat, and it flies around, and everyone's like stitching it, and they're like, do you remember this when you were a baby? And they're always like, yeah.
Oh my god, that is me.
That's me when I was a baby.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that little puppet gives me a lot of joy. But thank y'all for watching. Sorry I was really low energy today.
I think you had a great energy.
I think you're biased, but
you are my bias. You're my best view.
But guys, thank you for watching. Seriously, it means a lot. Again, if you would like to support the podcast with us, with our equipment or having experiences, we do have a Ko-fi little dono goal thing set up, so I'll link that in the bio.
Description.
And a link in description. And if you don't want to help monetarily, just watching and subbing and giving a thumbs up is fantastic and does the job. So thank you so much for your support. I'm hoping that whenever I go to edit this later, there's not going to be any issues. I'm like literally shaking in my boots. But
I think we'll be okay. I hope we'll be okay.
Famous last words.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
All 10 fingers crossed.
How do you do that?
Like this?
That's only 8.
No.
Oh, the thumbs. Okay.
Yeah.
All 10 fingers crossed. Okay. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lordy. I kicked the tripod. I'm sorry.
Okay, we're going to go get Taco Bell now. Love you guys.
Later.
Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys. I'm going to get the Dominic Toretto special.
See you in California.
See you in Cali.
Bye.